This week I'm super excited that my 50 tips for mountain bikers over 50 guide has finally launched, so I'm super stoked to get it out there. Going on with that theme, I thought it might be really nice to do a video that's talking about 3 changes that happen to your body when you do past 50. So tons of mountain bikers are over 50, in fact about 45% of my audience are. So it's a really big demographic for mountain bikers. Now, us mountain bikers naturally, we don't like to make excuses, we like to crack on, we like to ignore aches and pains and break bones and just get on the bike anyway, and that's a fantastic attitude to have. But as you get older, as you get into your 50s, as you get into your 60s, that can actually be a little bit detrimental. So to completely ignore and pretend changes to your body aren't happening isn't the best sort of way forward. But on the flip side, you also don't want to really use massive excuses and think that you're getting old so you can't do things, because you can be ripping into your 70s and your 80s. So in this video, what I want to talk about are 3 changes that actually happen to your body as you pass 50, get into your 60s and you grow older. So I'm going to chat about these things so you can make changes maybe to your diet, to the way that you think, and you can address those things to ensure that you stay injury free and you can ride for as long as you possibly can. So I hope you enjoy the video. Now, inevitably, when I post as a 27-year-old talking about helping mountain bikers over 50, I'll get the odd comment, not many, 1 in 100, 1 in 200 people will ask me, what does a 27-year-old know about being over 50? Because clearly, I'm not over 50 yet, I'm excited for those days, but I'm not quite there yet. So you can possibly think, what does he know about it? He's not gone through it. Over the past, I'm 27 now, since I was 19, I've worked one-to-one with people as a personal trainer, the majority of which, to be honest, are over 50. So I've worked one-to-one with people full-time for my career, and I've also helped thousands of people through MTB fitness, through my training programs and my nutrition guide, and my Facebook and Instagram has around 400,000 followers, and I'm always getting comments and messages from people in the 50s, 60s and 70s, and I'm helping them out. So I feel like I'm really well placed to help you riders over 50. So I can understand for some of you may think, oh, what does he know? I'd argue that because my whole life so far, or my working career so far, has been dedicated to helping the people, the majority of which are over 50, I know all about the nuances, I know about helping people, so yeah, I thought it'd just be good to address that at the start of this video for those of you who are wondering. So there are physical changes that happen as you start to get older, one of which is that your natural male or female sex hormones will start to decrease. That affects many things, but one of the things it does affect is your muscle mass. So as you get older, naturally your muscle mass will start to decline and you'll start to lose muscle. Now the key here is that you need to work on maintaining it. So left to its own devices, your muscle mass will go down. Somebody in the 20s, in the 30s can not do much exercise and maintain a pretty much constant amount of muscle. They won't necessarily lose it. As you get older, you do start to lose muscle mass. Now naturally that can affect your performance on the bike, it can affect how you look if you're bothered about that, it can affect protecting your joints, because the less muscle and the less strength you have around those joints, the less you're going to be able to support them. So as you get into your 50s and you pass 60 and you get older, it's really important that you focus on building muscle and maintaining that muscle that you've got. Now mountain biking is great for that, it will definitely help. However, I highly recommend you doing some off the bike training in the gym, at home, doing resistance workouts, that kind of thing. That will really help you build that muscle mass and maintain it for as long as you possibly can. If you don't do anything to sort of work on your muscle mass, it will decline over time, and that only brings with it negative effects. Number 2, and the second change that happens to your body as you get older, is that your bone density, the bone strength and size, actually starts to decrease as you get older. So that means that you're more likely to get things like arthritis, to get things like osteoporosis, and to start to have issues with your bones. The other side of that is that you're more likely to snap one as well. So if you do fall off the bike and land on your wrist, not that I know anything about that, then you're more likely to snap that bone rather than it being stronger to support against it. So that's really important to consider. Your bone density is decreasing. There's plenty of things you can do to help build it though, and to help stimulate it to make sure that you don't lose the density as quick and you actually keep it nice and strong. The main things for those are strength training, particularly weight training, putting heavy weights through your body. That sends a really clear signal to your bones that they need to be strong and stay strong. You can focus on doing impact exercises, so that can be things like mountain biking, like you take a good beating, that definitely helps your bones. But also off the bike, you can do things like hops and jumps, that kind of thing, to just anything that's impact on the bone will send a clear signal that you need to have strong bones, and that will help your body strengthen them up. And the other thing as well is to look at your diet for your bones as well. So make sure you're eating plenty of calcium, you're getting vitamin D in. You might want to supplement on that in the winter, because vitamin D actually helps your body, your bones absorb calcium. So that's really important. And just make sure you've got a good healthy diet to support that bone density. That is the change that does happen. It's well worth tackling it. The third change that can happen to your body, and this might not, but it's worth paying attention to, is that your eyesight and your hearing can over time start to degrade and start to get worse. Now, this isn't necessarily an issue in itself. The issue comes when you don't notice it happening. So it happens over 5, 10, 15 years. Your eyesight can really slowly get worse, your hearing can really slowly get worse, and you don't actually notice it's happening. But when you're on the bike, your eyesight, I don't need to tell you, is massively important. Just looking ahead and spotting those rocks and roots and those twigs and stuff like that on the trail. But also being able to spot the slight nuances between what's a grippy bit of trail and what isn't. You need great eyesight for that. Now, your hearing's also really important. You use your ears to balance a lot, and whether you notice it or not, you also listen to the sounds the trail's making. You can hear when your tyre lose grip, you can hear what kind of ground you're on, and you can also hear what's going on around the corners. So, you know, if there's a couple of kids playing on the trail around the corner, you can hear that coming. So I'm not saying you're over 50, your eyesight's going to be crap. What I am saying is that as you get older, it can decline, and it's just you might just be watching this and think, oh, you know what, yeah, mine is. If it is, just go and get checked. Get your eyesight checked, get your hearing checked, and just make sure it's alright, because if you keep your eyesight looking really good, making sure you've got 20/20 vision through wearing glasses or getting your eyes lasered or however you want to sort it, if you make sure that you've got really good hearing, you're going to perform better on the bike. Obviously there's off the bike benefits to that as well, so it's just worth paying attention to. Now, these are just 3 changes that can happen to your body. There's absolutely loads of them. In my new guide, 50 Tips for Mountain Bikers Over 50, I go into detail on all the different changes that happen to your body as you get older, and I also talk about specific things you can do to combat them and how to ensure that you stay pain-free, injury-free, and keep riding that bike for as long as you possibly can. So please, click the link in the description. If you're watching this within the initial 2 weeks of launch, you'll be able to get a massive discount, and there's also a wicked foreword in the book by the mountain biker Steve Peat, who's creeping up on 50 himself, so you can read that in the guide as well. Really would appreciate it if you grab a copy. Just follow the link in the description, and I hope it helps you a lot. Thanks so much for watching.